Hello there to all my friends on the interwebs who love miniatures. I'm Dakian. It's a Monday, and I'm here to ramble. It is in fact Monday the 26th of June, 2023. We're looking at 3 models from Heresy Miniatures. I think they're called Cyborg Assassins. I painted them mostly metallic, mostly as robots. This guy has pants, which I painted a gray color, which at a distance blends in with the metallic. But otherwise, these were all like very smooth in texture. There's not a lot of stuff that stands out. I don't know what I would paint them, so they're either robots or they're wearing some sort of shiny body stockings. You be the judge. And, well, I thought that was what I could do with them. Now, you might be thinking, oh, is Doc still painting very slowly because only 3 finished models? In a way, there's only 3 finished, but in the next clip we're going to the work table and I'm going to show you the progress on a lot of other stuff I'm working on, and I think you'll agree that a lot got painted the past week. Anyway, so here on the work mat we find the rest of those sci-fi / modern day minis from Heresy. This is what, 8 of them, and mostly ladies. I think this here is a dude, and you might think there's a lot of white space on them still, but that is perhaps an illusion, because I've painted the hair, the skin, the weapons, and all the belts, straps, pouches, backpacks, holsters, that sort of gear. So what's left is basically like the shirts, pants, and boots, and the bases for all of these. And some of them are a little more complex. This one has a coat, an overcoat, and this one is just wearing a dress. And this one has a little more complex base with more pieces to it. But yeah, they're at least 50% done. I mean, you might think even slightly more than that. And my only real question is what colors I should paint their uniforms, because on the one hand, most of these seem like military types. They should be in something like khaki or olive drab, or, you know, typical military colors. But I've already painted their belts and pouches in something similar to that, so I think I want to stay away from the browns and the drab greens. Maybe just go more sci-fi and have them in, because I've gone with sci-fi hair colors already and a little bit of anime hair colors. Why not just have silly non-functional colors on their bodysuits as well? Why the heck not? Let's go nuts here. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm fairly certain I can finish these by next week. It's not going to be it's going to be a bigger haul of finished minis next week. Meanwhile, over on this part of the work table, which is, I don't know if I've shown you this, but it's basically just to the right of my main work table. Over there is where I paint. Over here is where I prep. And right next to that is the spray booth, where I prime and varnish. So these are all the robots, and they've been primed a very dark color to prepare them for having a lot of metallic color painted over them. And, you know, honestly, these could go very quickly as well. There is no telling how fast these could be finished. Maybe even by next week, in which case I will have a huge haul of finished minis. Well, if you live, you'll see, as we say here in Sweden. For the final bit of things in the works, we have these ladies on hover bikes in somewhat strange poses. And they came with 25mm bases, but I think I'm going to use larger ones. I have some of those stamp bases I've done. I'm probably going to use something like this. this one came in 2 pieces and had to be assembled. And they've been cleaned up, assembled, and what I'm thinking about regarding these is whether to assemble them fully before painting. There are some parts that are going to be hard to reach if I do that. On the other hand, they're going to be really hard to handle to paint without having something to hold on to. I don't like holding the mini while I paint it. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't sort of thing. I think they're easier to pose if I... So there's 3 parts of each model. It's like the rider, the bike, and the base have to sort of fit together properly. I think it's easier to do that when they're unpainted. So I'm probably going to go that route of pre-assembling everything, and then hard to reach areas, hey, they're not going to be visible either. Just drop some black paint in there and call it done. Or, very dark shadows. So yeah, that's probably what's going to happen, and they will be prepped for next week, so I can start painting them. Hello, Closet of Shame. I thought I'd start this week's inventory update with just a little how's it going? It's after what I'm going to show you next. This closet, which you're looking at now, will be fully inventoried. And what does that mean? Well, I'm going to have to go over to the next closet, which also has a few shelves of stuff. But probably about halfway there to cataloging everything. Let's hope so. Doesn't look like there's more in there here, and I think a lot of the stuff in this closet is actually paint and bottles and stuff. There's some terrain bits as well, stuff that isn't actually miniatures. So fingers crossed that, seeing as I'm halfway through it now, almost halfway through the year, I'll be able to finish this by the end of the year. Now, I believe this box does contain the last of the hassle-free minis I have to catalog. I think so, unless I've forgotten something. And it is all resin figures, mostly resin masters, not all of them. The ones that are resin masters, this box contains the collection of all my, well, let's call them artistic nudes. Kev, the sculptor of Hassle-Free, likes to do nude versions of a lot of his minis, and they are sold separately, usually only as resin masters. And I was collecting them for a while. I don't know why. Just a perv, I guess. And but the others here are some large-scale minis. For instance, Gypsy here, who is a 54mm figure, who is not nude. She's wearing a chainmail bikini and has a sword and a pistol, or 2 swords, and she's very clearly supposed to be Deja Thoris from John Carter. Then there's a few 40mm, like this, the goddess Artemis, and a few others. And this contains a ogre, a very special limited edition, numbered version of one of the iconic ogre sculpts that they do. I think there's a brochure for it here. Right, the January 2010 version of limited edition of Axanarf. So yeah, I've got him. He's 13 years old now. I wonder how much older he'll get before he's painted. But anyway, that's that. And this box contains a total of 38 models. So, I'm feeling optimistic about my progress in the coming week. I think a lot of what's on my table now can be finished relatively soon. I'm at least going to show you what I'm planning to prep next, and it's these lesser elementals. So it's 2 packs, 2 identical packs, with 4 models in each, with one each of the 4 elements. Like there's a water, a fire, an earth, and a wind elemental in each. This is from a while back last year when I bought a bunch of elementals in general from Reaper, and I still have the bigger elementals from that order to work on as well. But I thought I'd start out with these smaller ones because they're a little bit faster, a little bit easier maybe, and yeah, it's something I think will be relatively quick, easy, and fun to paint. Yeah, I think that's the wind, there's water, fire, and earth. Yeah. Well, yeah, so not much else to say. That concludes this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Comment what you thought about the models I've shown you in the painting. And yeah, be back next week, same time of the channel, same time of the week, same day of the week, same channel, same Doc Eon, who is now signing off.